Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful, empowered harmonizers. We are zooming in and focusing in on a great viewer question, and that is, why do I have so much trouble picking up the pieces and moving on? Why do I have a struggle with self-esteem? And this is a great viewer question. I think it's something that a lot of people can relate to. And when we talk about self-esteem, it's really about how you value yourself. And it's oftentimes how you value yourself in relation to another person or a valuation that has been reflected to you. In other words, how it has been reflected or mirrored back. And if you have been with a caregiver, a significant other, a love interest, an employer, a community, a neighborhood that has reflected back a sense of you not being a person or a human being of value. In other words, just your existence, being a human being, an inalienable right of being a person of value, then you're going to feel depleted in this sense and experience low self-esteem or lack of valuing yourself. So once again, it's usually set up in a foundation from your original caregiver and then reinforced through relationships that are of a similar intimate nature. And this becomes the reality that you own. So if you are in a reality where you're surrounding yourself with people who diminish, destroy, devalue, condescend, criticize, shame, scapegoat, always pointing the finger of blame at you, then you're going to feel a sense of low self-esteem on a chronic, ongoing basis. And you're not going to have a sense of valuing your own perspective or values or opinions or your own needs, and really embrace these and support these and move on, and then surround yourself with people who are supportive of you in this. So it really has to become an inside job. Inside job meaning now it's your responsibility and accountability to work on valuing yourself and be able to confirm and affirm, I am a person of value. I am a person of value. I am a human being, not a human doing. I'm a human being and I'm a person of value. You need to be able to repeat this out loud, as well as in your heart, within yourself, and know this to be true. If you are operating in a set of self-limiting beliefs, which you have learned as a result of being around others who are perhaps pathologically self-absorbed, they're so into themselves, their insecurity, it's all about them, so they don't have the empathy to reflect back value to you and give you that respect, then you're around negative people who are diminishing and going to sabotage this on a repeated basis. So not only is it an inside job that you need to nurture and cultivate and make your reality and not feel guilty, but also look at removing that sort of clan or individuals, going no contact with those people who are reflecting negative back to you, or if they do, in your heart, within yourself, you have to know better. So if they come at you with a slew of allegations, put downs, looks, they're up to their same antics, you're not affected. In other words, you know better. And if it comes at you, you know that it's just part of a ploy, a tactic that this person who is engaged in and using as a way to cause you to feel less than, inferior, and then disempowered and not valuing yourself. So that's really the root of being disempowered, is not knowing your worth or value of a human being, and being able to acknowledge, validate, feel that, and then enforce it. And then once you have that inside, you're then able to handle situations that come up and not overreact, not get overwhelmed, not violate your own boundaries, not feel like you have to violate another's, raise your voice, throw a tizzy fit, have things not come out how you wanted. So when you begin to value yourself and develop that sense of self-worth, then being able to enforce your boundaries will become more natural. It'll become easier. You won't feel guilty valuing yourself. But if you're in a relationship with someone who is manipulative or narcissistic or psychopathic, they're not going to want you or encourage you to feel or live this truth. They're going to try to distract you. They're going to try to disempower you. They're going to try to test you. So when the test comes, you have to be ready. And here they come with their same old. And okay, so be it. You can't always change what other people do and the way that they relate to you or try to disempower you. Don't fall for the sabotaging, the gaslighting, the scapegoating, the blaming, and making you irresponsible to yourself. See, that's the whole development of the people-pleasing and source of supply and codependency, Dr. Craig Malkin, and the echoist experience. When you're around people who take advantage of the vulnerable, i.e. the people who don't know, when you're vulnerable, you need someone to be able to protect you, or you need to protect yourself. So in this vulnerable phase when things, you're still learning, either as a child, a young adult, or learning in love, you need to be able to have the boundaries and standards to be able to enforce your value of yourself. In other words, so you won't put up and shut up. You won't tolerate it. You'll say, nope, not me. I'm not falling for that. And then you'll feel okay with it. You won't feel guilty, out of order, out of line. You'll be able to enforce it. So it's so important to work on having that internal experience of valuing yourself as a human being. You are a person of value just by being alive. So you need to acknowledge and validate that. And if you have not had that experience, either through your caregivers, your immediate caregivers, your parents, you didn't receive that from your siblings, you didn't receive that then from your classmates, your schoolmates, your peer group, then it's time to plant that seed, kindle it, and develop and grow that self-esteem seed. Value yourself. I value myself. I'm a person of value. I'm a person of strength and integrity. I'm a person of high ethics. I stand for something. I'm not going to fall for anything. So realizing that that is really the core of why people have a difficult owning an appropriate level of self-esteem or owning a positive reality. They feel that their reality kind of is controlled by these other elements going on outside of them. And so you might need to sort of, on your journey, work on shoring that up and making it more solid, and really work on this. It's an internal job. Happiness is an inside job. Valuing yourself and self-esteem is an inside job. So much of our society is trying to peg it on something else. Your car, your job title, how tall you are, etc. So remove all those barriers and allow it to be an inside job and cultivate it today. Don't be ashamed of valuing yourself. It's the proper thing. It's the right thing. It's what the universe will deliver once you cultivate it inside, because through the law of, the universal law of correspondence, as within, so without. So if you don't value yourself within, you're going to attract people who don't value yourself without, and then the cycle is going to continue. Value yourself. And you have to embody and physiologically feel that confidence and that trust and that knowing, and really, really work on that. It's super important. You are important. The low self-esteem will be fostered and perpetuated if you have housed the belief that other people are more important than you. When you're in a relationship with someone who is narcissistic, psychopathic, someone who is overwhelming, you'll get the feeling that other people are more important than you. And then here comes, you are less important. And then here comes the seeds and the climate of low self-esteem. So begin to identify when these crop up, pull them out. don't allow yourself to be surrounded by that negative message. The message is within that person. You don't have to receive it. You don't have to absorb it. You don't have to take it to heart. You don't have to filter, you don't have to process it and then filter it and then throw it back to them. You don't need to react. You must understand what emotional bullying is, and don't allow yourself to be bullied. Don't allow yourself to be taken over and overwhelmed by an individual or a community or what have you that is trying to diminish your value through the messages they send, the way that they treat you. You are a person of value. You are a person of strength and integrity. You have your own strengths. Just because this person or wherever you're at, the environment is not able to reflect it at this time, that is called being in a disempowered environment or a disempowering relationship that will not make you feel that you embody your own strength, your own potential, and that you're living your purpose. So be able to separate and be able to sort of sort it out and identify the cause that's created this effect and this feeling. And now it's important for you to change that and begin to feel physiologically, I am a person of value. Don't feel ashamed by making that statement. If you feel ashamed, then that's a good litmus test that you still are feeling guilty about taking care of yourself. You're still feeling guilty about taking care of yourself. So begin to eradicate and remove that guilt. No guilt. I am a person of value, and that is okay, and so it is. Namaste. Work on this. Embody this truth. Be able to cultivate, nourish, and embrace. This is the truth. This is the law of love. This is divine order. Begin to allow and accept. I accept divine order in my life. I accept divine order in my life, and I will allow the divine to reflect back value, beauty, love, joy, bliss, peace, harmony, and serenity to me. And so it is. And so it is mine now. These qualities and experiences are yours. Give them to yourself. Live in that experience, and then allow others to come in through that boundary of valuing yourself. Allow others, and it doesn't mean that you're on a high horse, you're holier than thou or whatever. It's important that you have that self-respect and be able to live and enforce that through your decisions, how you spend your time, what you hold yourself accountable to, how you schedule your day, your week, your next 6 months. Begin to look at that as a very important factor, and don't be afraid to embrace this love and this light and this peace and serenity within yourself. Give this to yourself as a gift. It is the gift that will keep on giving, and it will serve you well because it'll help to give you a vision of who your true advocates and supporters are and who is trying to, diminish or demolish. Don't allow yourself to have that emotional vandalism. Don't allow that to occur. Begin to say, nope, no thank you, and just move on. You don't even have to give it words. You just move through the experience. And so it is. Namaste. You can do this. It's your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today. And I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.